Hello, everyone. It is Marc Berman from TV Media Insights. I am here for our weekly Skypecast, and my special guest once again is Michael Burgi. Hello, Michael.
Hi, Mark. How are you?
I am doing very well. How are you doing?
I'm great. Thank you for asking me back.
It is my pleasure. We have a lot to talk about, so let's get right started right away. Howard Stern. Do you watch America's Got Talent?
You know, I've watched a little bit of previous seasons of it, but I haven't seen it with Howard this season. How's he doing? How's the ratings impact been with him there?
Well, I'll tell you, NBC made a big mistake, but it's actually okay now. They started the season 2 weeks early. They normally begin it right after Memorial Day weekend. For whatever reason, they decided they're going to start during the traditional season, which is not a good idea because you're competing with Dancing with the Stars and American Idol. So overall, the ratings, even with Howard Stern, in that very first episode, were down like 25 to 30%. Now that it's the summer season and we've progressed, the ratings are closer to 1 year earlier. Still down slightly, but America's Got Talent stands well above anything else this summer. So it's still doing very well for them.
Now, you mentioned Howard Stern. Why Howard Stern? Did I hear that he mentioned you?
He did. Howard Stern has been mentioning my name and TVMI regarding his ratings when he does his radio show, which is really cool because I've been getting a lot of emails about that. And the first time he mentioned me, I had like 50 more Twitter followers that day. Although he's mentioned me in the past, many years ago, I don't know if you remember, when he had his E! show, they had like a syndicated version of it on Saturday night that I commented on, I was quoted, and he kind of referred to me as an a-hole. So, which is the ultimate, which is the ultimate compliment. But you know, I have to tell you, it's an honor. It's an honor. But I have to tell you, I think he's doing well on the show. Personally, I expected the Howard that I've known over the years, who is very over the top and very raunchy. This is a kind and gentle Howard. He is really nice.
Well, look, in real life, the guy's a nice guy. I mean,
I guess so.
Is a total act, but I guess this is the ready for prime time version of Howard Stern.
I guess so. I mean, listen, he's fitting in, and I think his challenge is he's obviously has a very strong cult following. I don't think the masses are totally aware of him. So this is a much bigger platform for him. So it's a win-win situation. Plus, he's making a lot of money. Hello, he's not doing badly.
But hey, a mention on Howard Stern definitely does mean your Twitter followers are going to go up because his audience may be small, but it's very loyal. They'll follow him to the ends of the earth. So.
Oh, totally. And I've turned into a tweetaholic. I'm tweeting. I'm actually tweeting as we're sitting here. I'm tweeting. I'm tweeting that we're talking about. No, you know what? The business has changed, and you have to keep up with the masses. The minute anything breaks, you have to tweet it. The minute.
Yes, Twitter is a terrific means of delivery. I mean, it is a really great way to kind of reach directly a bunch of people. I mean, it sure beats email,
It sure does. I mean, like I said, on an average day in the office, I'm tweeting 30, 40, 50 times a day. I actually had someone tweet me that he didn't like my tweets. So I tweeted back and said, "Why are you following me then?"
You must be doing something right then.
Whatever. So tell me, what have you been watching this summer? What's on your agenda?
Well, I've been watching a lot of NBA playoffs.
Right.
There's been a lot on both TNT and ESPN, and then on the weekends, ABC runs some games. There's been some tremendous basketball. I really, really enjoyed that. I'm a big Knicks fan. The Knicks were knocked out in the first round of the playoffs, as everybody expected. But I have to say, a lot of the other games between the various matchups have been terrific. There's been some great basketball. So I've enjoyed that. And then Mad Men. Mad Men is my real kind of, most enjoyable drama for the summer. It'll be coming to an end soon. The season ender is coming up. I'm not sure when, but soon. And I've enjoyed that very, very much, too. It's a great show.
I've never gotten into Mad Men. I've watched it. I like it. I don't love it. And I give it a lot of credit. I think it deserves the accolades. I just have never gotten into it. And, it leads me to wonder. Not that every show that's set in a nostalgic, with a nostalgic feel, it's not going to work. But my concern it's, you know, there's a show coming up on CBS, a new drama called Vegas. It's airing Tuesdays at 10 o'clock. I just watched the pilot. It was really good. It was really good. It's with Dennis Quaid and Michael Chiklis. It's set in 1960 Las Vegas.
Oh,
now,
that's a ripe time to cover that.
Totally, totally. But the thing about Mad Men, which I think a lot of people don't realize, is it's not a ratings hit. It is a huge critical success. It's not a ratings hit by any means. And, you know, if you look at last fall, you had Pan Am on ABC, the Playboy Club on NBC. But, I mean, the advantage for a show like Vegas on CBS is it's on CBS. It's airing out of NCIS Los Angeles. And it's definitely going to click. But I often wonder if, you know, the nostalgia...
Those just might not work.
You know, I wonder about that a little bit, but we'll see.
For me, it's more about, you know, if the shows, it really depends on the quality of the show. I mean, Mad Men has excellent character development, top-notch writing, very good direction. It's a really above-average show.
Mm-hmm.
When the Playboy Club and Pan Am came out as, you know, kind of Mad Men knockoffs,
right,
those weren't very good shows. I mean, I watched a couple of episodes of Pan Am, and it kind of devolved into some silly spy mystery that I thought was completely off track.
right.
I didn't see the Playboy Club, but I know that you have said that it was really not very well done.
No.
So to me, it's about the quality of the show, and less, you know, I think nostalgia shows can work. I would point to the Wonder Years as a real good example of a successful show that really delved into nostalgia. So it's about the quality to me than the genre, but I think you have a point. We'll see what happens.
I totally agree with you.
Dantana showing up?
No.
I think so.
No, but I'll tell you, you know, it's interesting. The person that played Dantana is Robert Urich, of course, the late Robert Urich. Do you know, I'll tell you something interesting about him. This is a fact. He, and despite the fact, unfortunately, he only lived into his 50s, he appeared still, historically, in more regularly scheduled series than any other actor or actress in the history of television. You know how many shows he appeared on?
I'm going to guess dozens, but that's not a very...
Well, I'm talking about on a regular... He had a role on a regular series, not a guest star. He was on a regular series. 14. 14. 14? Yes.
He was the quintessential TV actor, you know? I don't think
totally.
He was in movies, was he?
Yeah, I mean, he did an occasional movie. I mean, he did TV movies. He did, you know, odds and ends like that. But he was always working in a regular series. I mean, you know, he, of course, you know, Vegas, SWAT. He was in the Bewitched spinoff Tabitha. He was in The New Love Boat. He did so many shows. I mean, I would say probably his most successful series was Spencer for Hire.
Which I actually liked very much.
Yeah.
When Spencer for Hire first started. I actually liked that show. It kind of got away. Didn't that move to USA Network at one point?
No, it not originally. It was on ABC. It ran, I believe it was 4 seasons, and actually spun off. Remember the character Hawk?
Yes.
He had his own show. Right. Right. But he had his own show. But Robert Urich was always working. It's unfortunate. Had he still been alive, he would have had another probably 5 series under his belt. He always had a job. Always.
Well, may he rest in peace.
May he rest in peace. You know, I'm obviously a huge nostalgia nut, and I want to ask you a question. I'm going to be heading to the Television Critics Association press tour in July, and every year we have an annual awards gala. And one of the awards that we give out goes to, it's called the Heritage Award, and it honors a personality in the business who has really made an impact. And I want to give you the list of nominees, and I want you to tell me who you think deserves to win. Okay? You ready? Here we go. The first one is Dick Clark. Next is Regis Philbin, David Letterman, Andy Griffith, and William Shatner. Who do you think the obvious winner is?
Well, I would go I would go with Dick Clark because
right.
he just recently passed away.
Right.
His indelible imprint on television, from American Bandstand through to all the New Year's Rockin' Eves, the fact that he really was one of the first to successfully blend music into television, very good symbiotic relationship, and also a prolific producer of, I think, movies as well as shows. Dick Clark Productions was
incredible,
a very successful TV producer. So I would give it to Dick in part because of, you know, the fact that he's recently passed.
You know, I met him many years ago. I was at the press tour, and a friend of mine, Bob Bowden. Excuse me?
Pre or post-stroke?
Oh, this was before his stroke.
Oh.
This was several years before. This was a good 5 years before his stroke. I was at the press tour, and a friend of mine worked with him. We had breakfast, and he asked me if I wanted to meet him. He took me up to his office. It was really fascinating. He couldn't have been nicer. He took me on a tour of the whole office. He had memorabilia everywhere. You know, remember he also hosted, you know, the Pyramid Show, the $10,000 Pyramid.
Oh, I forgot about that. I loved that show when I was a kid. That was one of my favorite daytime shows to watch. I thought it was a great game show.
Did you used to go into the city, into Rockefeller Center, to see the game shows being taped?
No, I never did. I'll bet you did.
Oh, I did. Excuse me, my eyes itching here. All the time. I used to go to see Pyramid, Concentration, To Tell the Truth. That was like my favorite pastime. I would take the train. I was like maybe 13 or 14. I'd hop on the subway with a couple of friends, and we'd go to see a game show.
That's very cool.
They don't make it. Now, before we wrap up,
yeah.
What's your guilty pleasure this summer? What do you really, what's like the one show that you're not going to miss this summer?
Boy, I will not miss Treme on HBO when it comes back.
Really?
The post-Hurricane Katrina New Orleans drama, I think it's just a fabulous show. I know a lot of people say it's like a lesser quality of the HBO shows. That I'm dying to see again.
Really?
That would be my guilty pleasure.
Really? Well, you know what my guilty pleasure is?
Yeah, well, wait, I got to guess. Should I guess it or should I let you say it?
Oh, I'll let you guess.
I'm going to guess Big Brother.
I'm going to tell you you're absolutely correct. And to this day, when I had the opportunity to visit the set of Big Brother, it must have been about 6 years ago, my family and I went. Not only did we go to the set of Big Brother, we were actually in the house while they were filming, okay? And when they asked us to come into the house, I'm like, well, what about the people in the house? They said, don't worry about it. They're in the backyard. We had them blocked off. They were like cattle. They had them blocked off. So we walked around the Big Brother house. These people sit in the house all summer, do nothing. It was a pigsty. It was filthy. It was horrible.
It's funny, Mark, but yeah, but that must have been so much fun for you.
It was an absolute blast. And then I would have to cite, after Big Brother, I'm a big HGTV fan. And realistically, the one show that I love, or actually two shows, Selling New York and Selling LA. I watched them on Thursday nights. And as I sit there watching, I imagine what it would be like if I had the opportunity to be able to afford those places.
Buy one of those amazing places.
Incredible. Incredible.
So, right?
Incredible. But listen, I want to thank you very much for joining me once again. I hope you'll come back next week for more TV conversation.
Mark, thank you for having me. I will come back anytime you ask.
My pleasure. And this is the TV Media Insights Skypecast. I am Marc Berman. Thank you, Michael Burgi, and we will see you again. Take care.